Hey, hey, hey. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good, Jay. How are you?
Well,
Are you?
living the dream, like they say. Like no longer living the nightmare. But Family Matters, we do this every week. The one and only Kevin Peterson. I'm Jay Stables.
Yep.
And uh, what's new? What's exciting?
Well, I'll tell you what. On my website, we're giving away a free book, Chronic Hope: Parenting the Addicted Child. I think I sent you the link.
Oh, I think we're going to do. Let's see if we can do this. It's this, and then
Um,
let's go here, and then I think we can do this.
Here, I think I have.
Why is this not working now? It was.
Well, it's on
Is it
there.
not working? Yeah.
Is it not working? I'm looking right at it. It's working.
Here we go.
Look at that.
So this just got a thing in the middle, but there you'll recognize this guy.
Handsome devil.
So I would assume, can click on the download the book.
Yeah, download it. Click on it. Let's see what happens. I think you got to put your name. You got to hit first name and last.
Do I have to put my name in there?
Yeah. And your email. Because I'm going to email it to you.
I think I got a lot of things working here my Wi-Fi is working hard.
Well, anyway, I'm giving
Here
away.
it is.
All right. Hit get instant access. Hey, look at that. Check your email open. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow, that was easy.
I try. I really do try, The whole idea is just to be able to give something away to people that are in crisis and give them a path to follow, a vision to, like, hey, what do I do? Do this. Okay, great. Then what? Call me and we'll set an appointment, And but that's the whole idea right there,
All right. Well,
I got really big there for a second. Hey, there I am. Look at that.
Well, we're supposed to go back to our portrait style, but anyway.
Oh yeah, all right.
I guess we can't switch mid live stream, so we're going to have to do this. God. So our Instagram folks are going to be a little
annoyed
off, but
well, that's life.
Anyway, we're going to be a little off kilter on Instagram, but anyway, we exciting stuff, and
yeah.
So that book, we can go a little more into detail. What exactly is that book that they're getting? The Chronic Hope. And what is that outline?
Parenting the Addicted Child. It's my first book, and and by the way, let's be clear. Children can be 45 years old. Okay. So that's always the first thing. Oh, well, no, yeah, my son's 25. I'm like, he's your child. Let's be clear. This doesn't really matter. That's not the point. Stop looking for a reason not to do it. What I outline in here is how to triage the crisis. When people call me and they're like, oh my God, what do we do? I'm like, okay, let's figure things out. Let's set boundaries in 3 categories: no drugs, no alcohol. Let's, go to work or go to school, learn how to be, self-reliant, and then, not mooch off your family. And then the third part is how to behave as part of the family. And, it's very straightforward. It's very direct. And then what to do if they don't follow through. So there's plan A, plan B, and then, how to address the family issues as well. So that's really, it's short, it's sweet. It's really intended to be let's just get in and let's just address the issue and set up set up a system right off the bat.
So we get a lot of questions and answers. Does the book kind of cover? We've gotten 2 here this week about kind of the first steps. It's kind of I've heard your show before. You're always talking about when the crisis or the chaos hits, when they're, coming home drunk or something. They've had a couple of cases where, like there's, just got caught with, a weed vape, or just decided to drink at that, party last Friday night. Just the first sign that there's a problem. What do you do?
Absolutely. That's exactly why I wrote it, because the people were coming in with, this was in 2000. I started in 2014 in Colorado, and Colorado legalized recreational marijuana. And all of a sudden people would come in with their high school and college age kids, and they're like, well, what the hell's going on? And I said, well, okay, let's not hit the panic button. We don't got to throw them all into treatment and call an interventionist to start with. Let's try and structure some stuff to begin with, to see if this person really has a problem. Let's spend a little bit of time working on this and say, hey, look, we love you, but this isn't working, and we're concerned, and we're your parents, and we're paying the bills, and we have the right to do this. Therefore, what we're going to do is tell you that, from here forward, you're going to have to do some drug testing and some alcohol testing, breathalyzing. And, generally people have one of 2 responses. F you, I'm not going to do it. That tells us a lot. Or, okay, sure. All right. And then it's a question of just, creating a system that's easy to follow. And what we're doing is getting data, and the data tells us whether or not they're having a problem. It's pretty black and white. It's pretty straightforward. It's not, it's not a lot of, there's not a lot of variables. There's just, can they, if you're applying some control and saying, hey, this isn't going to work, and we need you to, take a step back and regulate yourself. Can they do that? And if they can't, then we need to get them help. We're not going to punish them for that. We're going to get them help. And it shows how to do that as well.
Well, I think that raises a good, just hearing you talk, some instances, there is such a thing, in my opinion, as overreacting and acting too soon. I've had the frantic parent calling and, like, hey, I need an intervention. I need a coach. I need, like my son, just got underage drinking, and you learn from the son. He's 19, sitting at a college, first time ever really drinking, and I don't necessarily think he needs an intervention. He's getting the trauma, like, hey, like, let's get him to treatment. Like, there's sometimes the parents may be overreacting, and that could do damage down. I've had cases where we may be doing an intervention, and someone says, like, my mom and dad think that I've had an issue ever since I first got caught drinking, and that's been like 3 months ago. I just think that there's a time to overreact, but there's some damage to overreact, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can fully go ballistic and go nuclear and blow up the entire situation when it really isn't necessary. And that's why I created this plan, of, well, okay, hold on, let's take the next month and let's lay in some boundaries. Let's lay in some expectations and then some accountability behind that. Okay. And just say, hey, I love you, but I'm really worried about your drinking and your drugs. Therefore, we're going to start instituting weekly drug tests, and we're going to start doing breathalyzing on a regular basis. And if you struggle with that, then we're going to get you some help. We're going to hire a coach like Jay. We're going to hire somebody that's going to walk you through this process before we go nuclear and go to the next step. And the idea being, it's easier to catch more flies with honey than it is with vinegar. It's just the truth. And if you walk in and say, I love you, I'm worried about you, and I'm going to offer you some help. Now, if they reject the help, then we got to start talking about the bigger, more of the confrontational environment, which is really straightforward too. But at least you've tried. You don't just walk into their room, find a couple of empty beer cans, and then all of a sudden, people start showing up and writing letters and, talking and saying, hey, I love you, but I'm really, it's like the kid's like, whoa. 19. I'm in college. What's going on here? But that's why it's not just the drugs and the alcohol, right? It's the other categories are school or work. Are they going to school? Great. How are they doing? Let's check their grades once a week. Are they attending class? Are they turning in their homework? Do they have good grades? Because let's be honest, that's a sign. Oh, they're working full time. How's that going? Are they contributing to the household finances? Are they paying their own bills? Are they 35 years old and still using mom and dad's credit cards and mom and dad's phone plan? Let's start getting them, self-sufficient and start letting them handle their own business. And then the last part, and this happens all the time. I work with families all the time where the kids are just incredibly rude to the parents and say things that you and I would never even consider, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, let's hold them accountable for that. Let's be like, hey, look, it's not okay for you to speak to us that way. It's not okay for you to behave like this. This is, you're living in our house for free. So there's a curfew and there's expectations of chores. And, we have dinner every night. We expect you at dinner. It's just about layering that back into the family system. It's a lot of times what I teach is some pretty basic parenting stuff.
Sounds like you're giving them a free game plan. You don't need to overreact. You just give them. So there's some questions here, and I think we've talked about it. I mean, just kind of go over. You're a licensed marriage and family therapist, and then you talk about family coaching. I'm a coach. People hear that Jay's a coach. Kevin's the wise one therapist. The difference between the coaching, you said family coaching, and then the difference between your clinical approach and the family coaching.
Huh? No.
Yeah. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, the idea is to be able to work with the family in the process of just sort of taking them from step to step to step and saying, hey, I understand that this is not something you're used to. You really don't know what the hell's. I mean, this is, that one of the things every family I work with says, there's no playbook for this. There's no rule book. There's no one's ever written a book about how to handle this. I'm like, funny you should say that, because I did actually write you a book because I was that kid. I came from that family. And what my family did is got some help, and they sat down with me, and my dad said, I love you, but we're done. This is not going to work for us. If you want help, we'll help you get help. But we're not going to let you just keep blowing up the family system because, we're going to value the family first. And I understood. I mean, and I look back on it now, and that was really hard for them because they were terrified. But, at the same time, they were like, we can't keep having him blow shit up. It's just not working for us. So they
here I can't believe it's taken this long. I thought we were going to get more questions about this. I mean, I would assume it's hit you, but here in Dallas and then wherever in the state of, and we've getting a lot of questions every single week. It just seems more and more, and so we're going to put it all together. We have the Ozempic craze, the weight loss craze. The young adults now are on all these supplements, these powders going on. I mean, everyone wants to get into the gym, this body craze, the body issue. I mean, and Phil, it's all in one, but I think this is actually a really, really big issue when, particularly young adults, but you can go, I mean, I deal with it. Everyone deals with, body issues and so forth, but, it's so easy. It is extremely easy to get these things. You can go on apps now. You don't even have, you can get doctors, you can get prescriptions sent to you now. And yeah, it's crazy how easy it is. And I can only imagine how easy it is for underage and families, parents. I don't know how you deal with it. And I think I think this is a really huge issue. I don't think people are talking about.
You're talking like body image stuff?
Yeah, they're talking about, we've gotten a question about how are they, they're wanting to know how to monitor supplements, and they're reading labels, but they don't even know what they're reading. And then they're trying to Google, and they don't even know what they're reading on Google. And how do we know what they're using in, their vapes and their supplements? And they've had several young females getting Ozempic, and they're not even aware that they're getting Ozempic in the
No.
mail. So
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So a lot of that, for me, the family, yeah, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. The body image stuff has always been a huge thing, in that population is, male and female, by the way, not just female. And really digging in with those kids. And, so if if all of a sudden you're noticing, so a lot of in the book, I talk about, what are the things you want to look for, change in their behavior, change in their hygiene, change in their friend groups, change in their sports activities, change in their physical well-being, change in when you as a parent, when you start noticing those things, that's an opportunity to sit down with them and say, hey, I'm noticing some radical changes. It doesn't just have to be drugs and alcohol. I'm noticing some really significant changes, and I love you, and you're my child, and I'm concerned about you. So I would like to, talk about this. And I'd like to get you some help and have some, and if the response is F you, I'm fine. Well, okay, that tells you what we need to know. That's the data point that we have. Oh, okay, well, we need to take this to the next level, but if it's like, yeah, what, I'm a little freaked out. I think I'm overweight. I mean, I actually just had a wonderful conversation with an amazing person in the industry in your neighborhood, Mackenzie Harris. And she really, that whole eating disorder, body image world is not a world that I'm super fluent in, but I do have the resources for. But the way you catch it is exactly the same way you catch the drugs, the alcohol, the school, the behavior stuff is just sitting down. And here's a big thing that I always tell people. You can't punish somebody into good behavior. It just doesn't work. You have to come at them with a space of, hey, I love you, and I'm worried about you, and I want to help you. Now, if, the response is, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm fine, then you got to take it to the next level. And you got to probably be a little bit more forceful and look at more of a traditional intervention type of process, especially in this area, because this area can get life-threatening really quickly.
Yeah.
Really quickly. But there are people out there that specialize in this and offer amazing, help along these lines. But the first step is always the same thing, just sitting down and saying, hey, I'm worried about you. I'm noticing some things, and I'd like to talk to you about it.
Yeah. It's definitely a huge issue. And it's just, it can easily be had. I mean, I had a parent kind of just take me through and all these apps, and I mean, you can lie about your, birth date and everything. And it just shows up in brown boxes. I mean, it was a learning experience for me as well. So, it just sounds like, more things for me to learn as well. But anyway, we do this each and every week. Log on to chronocope.us. You get everything that Kevin talks about, all kinds of free resources. You can reach out to him directly. You can continue to reach out to me directly if you've got any questions. If you're watching a replay, don't hesitate to write a question, comment, thumbs up, like, thumbs down for Kevin. Not me, because I take it personal. So every thumbs down, make sure say for Kevin, because I'm very sensitive. Kevin's got thick skin. But anyway, we appreciate everyone. And we do this every Thursday, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. What would that be? 9 Pacific, I think. But we enjoy doing it. So, Kevin, we'll do this next week.
I look forward to it.
We'll be in March already.
Dude, today's leap day. That's crazy.
It's
leap day.
It's a special day.
All right.